we just have a few questions for you.
Go ahead, shoot.
Okay, so can you tell us a little about your job at CEWA and what exactly you do?
Yeah, I'm the director of sales and marketing, so that's obviously a little bit self-explanatory. But I'm a business model guy. I take what we see as what we have in a business plan, and then we figure out a way how to execute that. And it's not like we're making paintbrushes for distribution in the United States. We're a startup in technology that's got great potential worldwide, and so you have to figure out how your business model works in all the countries of interest.
Okay. And with having your idea of affordable solar power, you are looking and heading towards places around the world?
Absolutely. You got to remember, in the United States, you have the best of both worlds. You have a tremendously efficient system, power grid that's almost on all the time, unless there's some storm or natural disaster, right? So it's there, it's usable. And then when at the end of the day or at the end of the month, when the power company sends you the bill, it's very affordable power. So if you were a manufacturer in Brazil, for instance, or in Pakistan, you don't have that. You've got a very, very inefficient grid, very outdated grid, with rolling brownouts and blackouts. And when they send you the bill, they send you a bill instead of like what we pay for 9 cents a kilowatt hour, they send you a bill for 30 cents a kilowatt hour. And if you used it during peak times, and you know what peak times are, if you use that energy during peak times, they charge you a 20% premium. So it could be almost 40 cents a kilowatt hour. So what CEWA concentrated solar power works best for, in a simplified version, is where you've got a lot of daily irradiance and you've got high energy costs, and if you've got an ill-equipped energy grid behind you.
Okay. And for one of your standard dishes, how much would a company be looking at to purchase one?
Depending on small or large, and depending on whether it's thermal output or electrical output, the small dishes they sell for retail for $15,000. The large dishes $25,000. Now that does not include installation or peripheral equipment, meaning almost everyone in the electrical side needs an inverter, and on the thermal side, everyone needs some kind of plumbing to use whatever process heat you're taking off of the unit. The best way I can explain this, probably make the most sense, is if you had a 13.5 kilowatt system put on your house. You probably don't have a large enough house to get a 13.5 flat panel solar PV, but let's just say, for argument's sake, you do, right? In the United States, you would go out and you would pay for a 13.5 kW system. You would pay somewhere around $325 to $375 per watt installed. If you do the math, that's anywhere between $45,000 to $50,000 before any rebates, right? And then that system in Reading, PA, at the end of the year, from January 1st to December 31st, that system of 13.5 kW would generate somewhere around 16,000 kWh, kilowatt hours per year, right? If you put a 13.5 CEWA dish behind your house, and you paid, that would be one of our large dishes, by the way, and if you paid $25,000 and you paid another $10,000 for the inverter installation, that'd be $35,000. And then at the end of the year, from January 1st to December 31st, we would generate about 27,000 kilowatt hours in that same calendar year. So if you were looking at, that's the best model. A lot of people get confused in this market about efficiency. What it really should be is how much kWh do you produce, and that's where we have our biggest marketplace advantages. The other biggest marketplace advantages is that we use 30 to 40% less acreage to do the same output, so we use less space, less land. or very recyclable. At the end of a lifespan, if you had a 1 megawatt flat panel PV field, at the end of that lifespan, 20, 25 years from now, if you Google this, you'll find that there's very, very little recyclable in that. You can't put it in you can't just throw it away. You can't just send it into a dump. Those chemicals that make up those silicon cells are very hard to recycle. We are 99% recyclable. The only thing that we could not recycle in our technology would be the actual CPV unit, which is about a foot square.
Okay. And as a newer company with the new technology, have you guys had any trouble with trying to find the companies to purchase your systems?
Yeah, sure. In the United States, that's not even, that's going to be our hardest market to crack, because in the United States, it's a very developed market. They've been selling solar panels and solar generation in the United States for over 30 years. So that's a very known factor. As a matter of fact, when they submit bids, it's really not what's your output or what product you're using or what inverter you're using or who's installing it. It basically comes down to what's it being cost per watt installed. So it's a very price sensitive, very educated market. So now in our case, we have the newest version of sliced bread, and so we have a great re-education to be done. And some people get it, some people understand it, and some people are very resistant to change.
Okay. And how much, on average, would it cost to produce, say, your large-size dish?
You mean what's our manufacturing cost?
Yes.
I really can't share that.
Okay, that's fair enough. Is your company actively seeking investors?
Yes and no. Our business model requires, like for instance, we're selling distributorships around the world. So somebody who's in the market for this product in Brazil, for instance, who says, "Oh my gosh, instead of me competing with all these other guys on flat panel PV, if I'm selling back to the grid at 30 cents a kilowatt hour back to the utility company, I want to be able to generate as many kilowatt hours per year." Well, we've got a great advantage. So what happens is that we're not necessarily selling investment, but we're selling the rights to that country. So that's a business model within a business model. So you're not only just selling your technology, but you're selling the rights to your technology. So we're selling that we'll sell to a company in Brazil that says you now have the complete rights for 10 years to sell our product in Brazil. Everybody in Brazil has to come to you. You have the additional responsibility and also the ability to install and charge for it. You have the service and maintenance contracts which you charge for. You carry all the parts and pieces that might break down and have to be replaced, or for some reason natural disaster comes on and ruins the dish. You can then replace it and get charged an insurance company for it. So it's a great business opportunity within a business opportunity, if you can understand that.
Yeah. Well, that's all we really have for you. I would just like to thank you and your colleagues both for helping us out with this and helping us get an understanding of what you guys do.
Very good.
We very much appreciate it.
Okay.
And thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks very much. Have a good day.
You too.